Hello, viewers and podcast listeners. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Xraised, where knowledge meets inspiration in the intricate dance of industry evolution. My name is Miles. Stay with me as I connect you with another innovative leader as we uncover the vibrant world of printing and marketing, two fields that are quite literally the backbone of visual storytelling for businesses. Our guest has built a stellar reputation as the go to expert for businesses looking to elevate their branding game. With expertise spanning digital and offset commercial printing, direct mail, online advertising, and more, he's empowering enterprises to make bold, creative impressions. And let's all hear how he mastered the art of quick turnarounds without ever compromising on quality while staying committed to sustainability. So, you guys better stick around to know more about this from the president of Catdi Printing, Carlos Alonso deSantos. Hello,
Hey,
Carlos.
how are you?
Good, very well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for this opportunity. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Welcome to the X-Rays community, and I'm ready to discuss with you today what makes Catdi Printing stand out in a very competitive market and explore how eco-friendliness is revolutionizing printing and what that means for businesses like yours. But let's
Sure.
talk. Yeah, but let's talk about first this spark that ignited your journey into the printing and marketing world, Carlos. We know that those two are pretty dynamic fields, and you've
Yeah.
clearly carved a niche, a unique niche for yourself. So, what inspired you to step into this space, and how did that lead you to becoming the president of Catdi Printing?
Yeah, well, it's quite interesting, So from my initial background, I did not have a sort of printing background, marketing background, or sort of like any of the traditional sort of backgrounds that one would take to get into this business. It kind of happened almost by accident. My parents decided to open up an art gallery many blue moons ago. And as we were kind of getting started, we kind of realized that we needed to do outreach. We needed to reach, potential customers. And so from that, we started thinking like, what ways can we do it? And so this is sort of before the advent of email marketing and sort of social media, and direct mail naturally came up. And so from that process of not having a background in the business was sort of like, where do we go? And there were at that time very few places. And
Mhm.
so it limited sort of our options. And so we went with one company originally in Houston. And at the time, it was outrageously expensive. And so
Mhm.
from that, a light bulb came off because we were servicing, we were looking for particular customers in our area. And again, there was no vendors or providers to make that outreach. And
Mhm.
so from that, I kind of got the idea of like, hey, there's other art galleries that we are aware of that are trying to do the same thing. And from that, that kind of inspired me to find a source,
Mhm.
and kind of look and see where we can kind of fit in providing these services to initially other art galleries. And, to make a very long story short, we ultimately found a small mom and pop company, not a very big, large chain that was producing postcards at an
Mhm.
incredible price. And so it was sort of from this accident of meeting this company that I essentially started working with them and targeting other art galleries. And then from that, we naturally other small businesses, and so the need for direct mail companies in Houston was quite large.
Mhm.
And again, at the time, there were just very few providers. And so we kind of stepped in and kind of filled that gap, you know.
Right. So I appreciate you sharing that, Carlos. So from your parents' art gallery outreach initiatives to encountering that postcard company, you took what many might see as a traditional field and gave it a modern twist, blending creativity and, of course, strategy. It's just proof that even industries with deep roots can grow into exciting new directions, though most people don't actually take that leap. Yet here you are turning that need into a thriving business. And I'd like to shift our focus now on what makes CAD printing the go-to solution for businesses today, Carlos. In this crowded industry, could you tell us what truly sets you apart and the main reason your clients keep coming back?
Sure, no, absolutely. So I like to think of ourselves, I mean, yes, we are definitely a direct mail provider, but we're more of a sort of like print marketing agency. And what I
Mm-hmm.
mean by that is that we offer a whole host of services that sort of match that. main service. So obviously graphic design is a key element for direct mail marketing. Having a piece that looks great, stands out, is a crucial part of any campaign. In addition, so the data, like one of the things I think that really sets us apart is like our ability to get consumer data, business data of various sorts that really get granular in terms of like who people are targeting, right? So it could be high net worth individuals, people
Mm-hmm.
with kids, special ethnicities. I mean, the list is really endless. And so when people come to us, they're sort of like, yes, we want to do direct mail, but it's like, who is our customer? Right? And so assisting them really kind of get a target idea of like who is a good fit. I mean, most people have this general idea of like who their ideal customer is, but it's not till you kind of like delve into the data and kind of look at, parts of town, income, is it home value? So I think that kind of sets us apart in that sense is that we really assist them in like getting that data.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another thing quickly is that over time, we've kind of expanded our printing services. So yes, we obviously do postcards and brochure marketing, but now we expand into large format. So we really want to be a one-stop shop. So for small businesses and very large businesses, we can assist them with, both at the direct mail side, but also business cards and other print collateral that they may need. So that's one of the things I think that kind of sets us apart. In the marketplace in terms of other businesses that do something similar is that we kind of run the gamut
Right.
of print marketing services. So
Mm-hmm. So one-stop shop print and marketing agency that provides versatility, speed, as I've read, and a customer-first
yeah,
approach. You've taken the time to fine-tune your services and as well as the experience clients have in you. And since you mentioned every door direct mail earlier or EDDM,
right.
Carlos, which seems like a game changer for businesses, especially those aiming to reach local audiences. Can you break down how it works and why it's such a powerful marketing tool?
Right. So EDDM is a new offering, or fairly new offering from the post office that allows customers to send an oversized postcard for as little as 21 cents. So that's extremely appealing to small businesses, right? Because typically direct mail, the biggest cost is postage. And so depending if you go first class or standard, it has a huge, effect on the overall marketing budget. So
Mm-hmm.
with this new program and why it's been so successful is that it allows customers to really come in and mail pieces for as low as 21 cents and they don't have a mail list, right? So they don't have to have they don't necessarily have to go into the data side of it
Okay.
and to pull out customers. It's really great for service-based businesses. So your dentists,
Mm-hmm.
your pizzeria, your restaurants, businesses in which proximity is crucial, right? So if you have a dry cleaner, your real market is within a mile or two. So the
Uh-huh.
EDVM opens that up and allows them to mail pieces extremely cost effectively and a large piece. Um, there's pros and cons, but mostly we find that they tend to love it because you're not set to a large minimum where it kind of makes sense when you're breaking down, 50,000 pieces. You can mail as little as 200,
Mm-hmm.
so giving businesses that flexibility is really cool. And, we can assist with them from start to finish, from printing or from design, printing, bundling, and mailing, literally a one-stop shop, or we can print it and then they can do the bundling and delivery themselves. So, for a small business, it really opens the door to direct mail marketing. So there's over the past few years, it's become exponentially important in
Mm-hmm.
terms of like just sales volumes and for those small businesses targeting doing outreach.
Mm-hmm. So bringing marketing right to the front door, literally, no mailing list, lower cost, most especially, and the ability to reach every household in a target area. I can see why this is a hit, especially for local businesses. And I have to say, the way you've streamlined it makes it sound very
Yeah.
approachable. And I think even for businesses that might not have huge budgets. So,
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, direct mail, when people think of it, it can be overwhelming, right? Because there are many moving parts to it. This is just, it does streamline it. So
mhm.
basically, they pick an area, and again, from that, we can design it, print it, and drop it.
Ah,
So it does kind of take a lot of the complexity out of it.
mhm.
But for different businesses, it is wonderful. It's worked wonders.
Yes.
So it's every year we seem to be doing more and more and more of it.
That's
So yeah,
good. That's actually
yeah.
good. But in an era where going green is top of mind, Carlos, let's shift gears to talk about how Catdi Printing stays sustainable without compromising quality. Because eco-friendliness is becoming increasingly important in any industry, and I assume more in yours. So, how does Catdi integrate eco-friendly practices into your processes while maintaining the high standards your clients expect?
No, sure, and that's becoming a bigger concern nowadays. But I mean, for example, we use a minimum like 25% post-consumer recycled stock. So it's good to know that most of our paper, a significant portion of it is recycled, and that's becoming more and more a standard in the industry. Um, you know, upwards some people demand upwards of 50% post-consumer recycled stocks. We can do that.
Mhm.
In addition, we use like soy-based inks, so there's not a lot of heavy like CFCs, petrochemicals in the inks
Mhm.
anymore. So that's something and that's becoming more industry wide.
Mhm.
People are kind of moving away from those. And other things, obviously we use solar panel when we can. A lot of our facilities use it. And also working with vendors too that like adhere to, eco-friendly practices. I mean, we recycle a lot of our paper that we don't use. Our
Mhm.
print plates are recyclable. So a lot of parts in the supply chain are being recycled into and to be reused, and to cut down the overall sort of negative impact of
Mhm.
you know
Yeah.
waste. Yeah.
And I love that, Carlos. Eco-friendly inks, recycled paper, energy efficient printing. Now I guess we're really talking about sustainable printing. This proves that
Right.
being eco-conscious doesn't mean sacrificing quality.
Right. No, exactly. And I mean,
Yeah.
and so, it's becoming more and more people we're asking those questions, whereas before
Mhm.
no one really was, asking us to do these things. But, now you have certain companies, especially larger ones, who again are kind of to it.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
So,
so we have that option. So we can fit that need, it's
uh-huh.
so particular customer wants to do a run on a specialty paper that is 100%. I mean, we
Mhm.
can order and have it printed on that stock. But as we go into the future, yeah, I mean, I definitely see that, new innovations will be there.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, paper is sort of like a natural resource and it is renewable. I mean, and so a lot
Yeah.
of these tree farms that we do source our paper from are doing a great job of managing it and then planting future generations.
Mhm.
So it's not like a lot of these other industries, right? Like when you pull out oil and gas, they're not making any more of it. Whereas, paper, obviously our largest input is
Mhm.
it is recyclable or renewable, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah. So finally, Carlos, for businesses who's interested with Cathy Printing, what's that one thing you'd want them to know about your approach to customer service and delivering results?
Well, consistency. I mean, I think that's a big issue in a lot of different industries, especially in the printing industry, like turnaround. I mean,
Mhm.
one thing from the very beginning that has really bothered me when we were using other companies was like when things would say they would be done, that they are delivered on time. Because I
Mhm.
know people have their deadlines, and we really do as much as we can to consistently deliver on time. And so I think that's a big part of our customer service is like, hey, we're going to print your job, we're going to have it on time, and it's going to look great.
Mhm.
And little small things that we do along the way to avoid mistakes.
Mhm.
because a lot of things, tend to be file related, like bleed and little things like this, color matching, because what you see on the monitor may not, translate directly onto the paper. So, but just keeping a close eye to all those little things and adhering to deadlines is, I think that kind of sets us apart, in the overall industry. It's like, because we suffered the heartache before, like when things were not late or postponed. But that's something that I think that we really emphasize on is like making sure we get it done right and then
Mhm.
on time. So
Mhm. And that sounds like the kind of experience every business dreams of having, Carlos. Consistent, affordable, delivering right on time, which is,
yeah,
is highly crucial. And I must say, a true partner. When businesses work with you, they're definitely not getting just a vendor, they're getting a partner who's genuinely invested in their success as well. So I think you
exactly.
can have summed it up better, Carlos. And I wish we had more time to talk. But I know you have to go back and focus on your deliverables because I'm sure
Yeah, we gotta deliver those orders. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, this has been great. I appreciate it. And yeah, definitely look forward to chatting again and, delving to other parts of our business. I know we kind of just touched on the broad topics, but yeah, we can, do this again and like definitely would love to chat again.
same here. And I'm sure time is of the essence for you. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for spending your
Thank
time
you.
with us to share your expertise and the innovation and sustainability Catdi Printing brings to the table. So thank you so much, Carlos.
Thank you. Thanks again.
So that's pretty much it for now, folks. Check out catd.com to learn how Catdi printing services like EDDM could transform your marketing game. Thank you again for being with us, and I hope you watch or listen to more of our episodes at xraised.com. Until our next one, this has been your host, Miles. Stay focused and inspired with Xraised.